While other travelers take a photograph to remember the place or the experience, sketchers do travel sketching. So how many times have you actually brought two sketchbooks, a color palette, color pencils, pens, brushes along for your vacation and realized that you didn't have time to do any travel sketching? I've been there, done that. So in this video, I'll be sharing how you can fit sketching into your vacation. Strategy number one is to make use of the hotels. So when you make an arrangement for hotels that you would like to stay, look for hotels with good views. And look for hotels that are actually at maybe at the corner or at the top, and also have balcony, so you can walk out in the early mornings when everybody's still asleep. You can walk out with your sketchbook. You can sketch, look at the sky, look at the streets, and you can sketch. I have done a lot of sketching from my travel or from the hotel room, because you can really control what you want to do, and you can take your own sweet time to do it. Zurich, where I recently went, I went to this hotel where there is a panoramic room, so you get to see it's like in a corner, so you get to see views on both sides, and the windows are like big, and the whole room is very airy. Panoramic room. So you can open up the 3 big windows on 2 sides of the room. Our strategy number 2 is to look for, firstly, go to Google places that you want to sketch, or places that have interesting streets, beautiful sidewalks, people, or views. And then just look around the area to see whether there's a cafe or there's a restaurant that has seating area outside. One stone, two birds strategy, where you can have a meal. So if your friends are going with you, if your other half is going with you, you can have a good meal, and you can also sketch while waiting or while chatting. So this was what I did in, if I'm not wrong, in Vienna, where we actually stopped by some cafe, and it's really near to one of the palace, so I could just turn my head and I can do some sketching. Recently I went to Switzerland, and we are staying at the hotel, and it has a restaurant which has a terrace area that's open air. It faces the mountain. So while we're having our dinner, we had the mountain view in front of us. So I just take out my sketchbook and I sketch, and it was relaxing, and I did my sketching, and I had a good meal. So next would be to look out for places where you can spend a longer time at, for example, like an art museum or palaces, exhibitions. I also like to go to viewing towers and observatories. However, it can be quite challenging because of the details, because you're on top of a vantage point, and you do get to see really a lot of things. So you may want to change your style to something that's more sketchy, and you can do it very quickly. You can also go to parks, gardens, farms, things like that. So there would be places for you to sit down. A good place is also a church. In a church, you can just sit along at the sides, and you can sketch the people walking around, you can sketch the dome. Strategy number 4, it's not exactly a strategy, because this is something that most people manage to do, which is the sketching in the plane, if you're in the bus, in the train, in the car. While you're sitting and waiting to get to the spot, you can sketch the surrounding, which is mainly chairs and people's head. Or in a train where there are people facing you, you can actually sketch them. So it's like a kind of commute sketch. And also while you're waiting, let's say in a train station, if you're waiting in an airport, you can sketch the train, you can sketch the planes, and this is very easily done. So even if you're on a tour, like if you're on a package tour, this is something that you can do. But I think it's important because it's the way or the means of you getting from this place, point A to point B. So it tells a story. Similar to sketching in a restaurant. So instead of going, let's say you're hungry and you need to eat something, but you can't really get to the area or the restaurant that you want to visit, which has got good views. Just go anywhere and you can sit down and you can sketch your food. So food sketching can also tell a story about your travel. So tip number 6 is to sketch in a different style. So instead of sketching all the details, all the little windows in the building that's opposite you, just do a very impressionist kind of sketch, and use more watercolor, and instead of doing all the little lines, because those are much faster. So change the way you sketch so that you can sketch more quickly. And also you may also want to change the format of your sketching. So instead of having like an A4 size, so you want to do like a street scene and you want it to be like a full A4 size sketch, it's going to take you longer, right? So maybe you can divide that A4 into maybe 6 panels. So you do like a comic style, like a small little a little part on the food that you have eaten, on that transportation that you have taken, and that little scene that you see when you sit at the bench. So it tells a story of that day. So day 1 I did this, and it's all on a page that you can refer to. There's one final tip, which is please pack light. Think about how much time you have. So if you don't really have much time, just bring like an iPad. So if you are a digital artist, it's really easy, just bring your iPad. But if not, just bring a small, maybe an A6, A5 size travel watercolor sketchbook. Bring your travel palette, maybe a pen, maybe a water brush. Right, so here are the few strategies that I have to do sketching when I travel. So I hope you've enjoyed the video and learned something. Do let me know if you have more tips, more strategy, so that we can all learn and we can all travel, sketch happy. Alright, so thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye! This doesn't apply to those full-fledged sketching events like the Asia Link, the Urban Sketcher Symposium, because if you don't get any sketching done, what are you doing there?